Hi everyone, it's Santina and Elsa. This is my lap dog, as you can see. I know I talk about her a lot in videos, and I thought I'd bring her along to kind of share the art that we're going to be making today. Unfortunately, she won't be helping because she would rather just get up close and personal. So I'm gonna set you down, okay? But thanks for introducing the project. Oh, she's such a love. So today what we're going to be making is the bird's nest, because I figured I was actually looking out my window today, and we have awnings on the side of our house, and there's birds that have been making a lot of nests, so I thought this would be the perfect project to make for today. So the supplies that we're going to need is our cut out half circle. This is going to be our nest. Some of the brown yarn. There's two cutouts, two bird cutouts I should say, as well as their beaks, some googly eyes. I'm going to be using some markers. You don't have to if you don't want to. Some feathers and a glue stick. So before I begin, I was going through the feathers and I noticed that they all had this kind of sharp, long plastic stem, and I cut all of mine off except for this one because I just wanted to show you in case you wanted to cut yours off. Also, just grab a pair of scissors and just snip it off, but be careful because they do go flying just like my scissors. Okay, so now that I have all the supplies, I'm going to start with my birds. So what you want to do is take the beak, glue stick, and on the bird you're going to put a little bit of glue where you want the bird's beak to be. And then we're just going to press that in. And the same thing for the googly eyes. And if you use a lot of glue like I just did, you'll only need to apply it once. I'm just gonna press down. And if you want to use one googly eye, you can get more of a profile view, but I'm going to make my bird have two eyes. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing with the feathers, and I'm going to kind of go through, see what I have to work with, and see what kind of combination I want to make. And if you want to make your feathers shorter, you can definitely cut them in half, but you don't have to. And even if you say, you know what, I don't want my bird to have any feathers, I would rather draw them on, you go right ahead. So I'm just going to take my feathers and start placing them. If you do decide to add your feathers, I will warn you, it gets very sticky with all the glue. So if you don't really like your hands getting that messy, I would suggest either wearing a pair of gloves to protect your hands or go with the markers. Speaking of markers, I'm going to take a blue marker and I want to draw a little bow on my bird. Because you know what? Why not? Just because she's in quarantine doesn't mean she can't look nice, right? All right, so this is bird number 1. Now I'm gonna move on to bird number 2. And it's just gonna be the same process. You wanna put the beak, you can really take your time and really make this your own. I think Elsa hears some other dogs barking outside. She is, as you can see, the protector of the house. So she feels the need to bark at any noise she hears outside. Which sometimes is nice and makes us feel protected, but other times she can scare some people. And while we're on the subject of dogs, I would just like to say that if you are outside and you're taking one of your walks and you see a dog that you don't know, you should never walk up and pet it. You should always ask the owner. If it's a stray dog, don't go near it because you don't know if that dog is nice, and you just want to be very cautious with dogs that you're not familiar with. So it's always a good idea to ask before petting a dog. All right, got bird number 2, and since I gave my other bird a bow tie or a bow, I'm going to give this one a bow tie. Because why not? Maybe they're having a little birdie date night. I actually just checked on the birds that I was telling you about earlier, and I saw a little egg. So I think it would be cool to take some pictures and see the progress of the little baby bird. All right, so we have our birds done. The next thing we're going to do is put them in their nest. So you can do this one of two ways. You can either construct the nest first and just kind of put the glue down and then put the yarn, or I think I'm going to place my birds in first. So that way I can kind of put the yarn over them. And it'll be like they're all cuddled up. And one thing to think about is the direction that your birds are in. So if you want them facing the same way, you can do that. Or if you wanted to flip this around and have them facing each other, or maybe you want one bird or you want them both facing outwards, you can really do a lot with this project. And there's so many different ways that you can make it your own. So like I always say, don't feel the need to make it exactly the way that mine is. I love seeing your creative side, and I've definitely been seeing a lot of different pictures on Facebook. It's so nice to see you guys. I miss you all so much, and I know it's tough with the quarantine and staying inside our houses, but it's just something that we're going to have to do to be safe until we can see each other again. So while I was talking, I put glue all on the bottom of my bird's nest. I'm just gonna take a couple pieces of yarn. You could do this one at a time. If you really wanted to, you could just do it in clumps and then press down gently so that way you don't get glue all over your hands. That's what I'm aiming for, because I don't really like that sticky feeling either. You can add as much or as little yarn as you want. And the same thing goes for what I said about the feathers. If you don't want to add the yarn and you would rather draw sticks for your bird's nest, or if you just want to make a really cool design, feel free to make this completely your own. And I just want to move them around and make sure that all of the pieces of yarn are attached and pressed into the glue so that way they stick. So this is definitely going to need some dry time before we can hang them up. So make sure that you have a flat surface ready for your artwork to dry. And mine is pretty much done. I'm going to hold it up a little bit so that way you guys can see it. This is how mine turned out. I really like it. I think the birds are really cute. So as always, I miss you guys. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope that you continue to send in your art projects to myself and Tara. I really love seeing them and seeing how creative you guys get and really making the art project your own. So I hope you like this week's art activity and meeting Elsa. So maybe next week I will bring my other dog Juno on and you guys can meet her for the next art project. So I will see you guys then, and I hope you have a really great week. Bye.